Hey everyone, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. Well, it's 6:45 a.m. and I'm here with Quan, who's already out on the water. We're going to be doing a little bit of rock fishing today and sheephead as well. But I also wanted to give you another review of my new kayak. So the temperature right now, it's about 67 degrees. Water temperature was in the low 70s. So pretty good conditions. The swells aren't here yet, and the wind is minimal, but that will certainly change as the day progresses. Alright, I think I hooked into something. I was just trolling, and something just bit into it. It's probably, well, you know what? Feels like a mackerel, which is good because I could use him as live bait. Let's see what we have here. Yep, big old mackerel. Well, looks like I ran into something. It's probably kelp. So my propeller feels like it's fouled up. Oh, yep. Look at that. Okay, that was easy. Cleared it out, drives back in place, and I'm on my way. Lost 2 shrimp already. This is gonna be a long day. I should have really salted these guys because sheephead are just picking them right off the hook. Let's try again. They're feeding down there. I'm just feeding the fish at this point. Let's try it again. They're definitely down there. Got this one. Oh, he swam into kelp. Ah! It came off. Dang it. Alright, let's try this again. Got this one. Sheephead. Yeah, these are rock rats, right? Okay, Quan and I were chasing birds as they were feeding on a big old school of baitfish, but man, they kept moving further and further west, and we couldn't keep up. So now I'm headed back. I'm following Quan. He gave up and headed to the rockfish area, so Santa Barbara. I'll be catching up to him right now. But while I'm turn that off. But while I'm doing that, I figured, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break and test out the stability of this kayak out on the open water. The swells aren't too bad. So let's give it a test. I'm going to pull in my trolling line here. Whoa. Hey, my eyes are up here. Okay. So, look at this. Not too bad. Here comes the swell. Yeah, I better sit down. Yeah, you know, it really is a pretty stable kayak. Like on my first trip out, I mentioned how tippy it felt. That just takes some getting used to, because now I really don't feel it. It's feeling pretty solid, pretty stable. So yeah, my initial impression was mainly due to the fact that I was so used to the low profile of that Outback. I just wasn't used to this, to being so high up off of the water. But really, I love the ability to just stand up. I mean, look how easy it is without grabbing onto anything. Boom. Up here, guys, up here. Look at that. Yeah, it's a really nice day out on the water. It's about 115 feet right now. Getting really close to the rockfish area. We're gonna start. I can see Kwani's about 200 yards ahead of me. So, yep, I'm gonna catch up to him. Oh, nice red. Nice one. For Southern California. Guy. So this will be a really good test of this kayak in rougher waters. But the front of the Yak on the bow here is performing quite well. It's just cutting through these swells, no problem. The wind is blowing west to east, so it'll be to our backs when we head back. That'll be nice. But it's getting kind of rocky out here. And right now I'm at about 186 feet, so slightly shallower than before. Not marking any fish. So I'm just going to check my line. We use super heavy sinkers when we fish deeper water like this. I have an 8-ounce sinker right now. So it's really hard to tell when you have fish on the line, especially when they're small. You can barely feel them on the line because of that really heavy weight on the end. This is half a pound of weight. So who knows, I may have some fish on here, but they're going to be really small. Most of this is a sinker. Oh, look at this! 2 sand dabs! A double! Look at that! 2 sand dabs! Okay, this is really cool. As you can see, the sea is getting pretty choppy now, and the wind's picked up. So I noticed as I was pedaling here, whenever a swell would hit and I'd go head on into it. Okay, so let's see if we can capture this on film. But basically, whenever water comes up over the bow, it's pretty cool. there's a channel here. You can see it right here on both sides that redirects the water that comes over the bow into the recess here in the hull. And look, at the bottom there's a scupper hole. So the water, when it comes over the bow, whenever it does come over the bow, it gets redirected into that recess where it drains. Oh, that's really cool. So the water never comes into the cockpit here. It's a great design. Never noticed that before. Here, let's see if it happens. Oh, here it goes. Nope, there. Look at that. It goes right into that recess and it drains through that one scupper hole. And it never hits the cockpit. This is great. That's why it's such a dry ride. Any water that does come over that hole gets redirected into that recess. All right, while I'm waiting to catch fish, I figured I'd share something with you. Check this out. I found this on Amazon. It's pretty cool. It's like an old CD case, but it comes with these little Ziploc bags where I can keep my pre-tied rigs. Now this works great because if you ever want to switch rigs on the water, you won't have to retie them or tie them up while you're here. It's cool because having them pre-tied and organized like this, all you have to do is take down the bag. Oh, Long caught something. What is it? Is that a lane cod? Hold him up. How big is he? Oh, nice. Come on, just caught a big red. So anyway, inside of these Ziploc bags, you can keep your pre-tied rigs. So I have double dropper loops, Carolina rigs, drop shot. Nice. He caught a nice keeper. I mean, I have everything in here. So at any point, I can just swap them out. So on the tip of every rod, I have a snap swivel for, yeah, so that way I can just quickly swap them out. And check it out, it matches my kayak. It's orange. Pretty cool, huh? So, just another tip I thought I'd share with you today. Let's see if I caught any fish. Let me check this rod here. Oh, ooh, feeling kind of heavy. Probably just my sinker. We're in 361 feet of water right now. Oh, I forgot to show you something. So check this out. I was digging around my old tackle gear. Actually, it was in the closet, and I found this old tool caddy that you could hang on any tool belt. Check that out. It has a strap that you can hook into these bungee cords that are on top of the storage. It's perfect. I'm able to keep my pliers. Alright, my snippers, the fillet knife, my hook remover, see that? Along with my fish grips, it holds a lot. I have a fillet knife, and it's great. When I was at the kelp beds and I had to pull this drive up, it's like right here in the center, right by, it gives you really quick access to all of these tools. So yeah, I mean, it's really secure. You can see it's not going to go anywhere. Highly recommend it. And I got this at Home Depot for like, got a while back ago. I think it was under 10 bucks. So really cheap, and it's quite functional. But there's another kayak hack for you. It stays in place. They're not scattered all over the place. I don't even have to use the side pockets. I like to keep the side pockets. Oh yeah, my scissors can go right in here as well. I I like to keep the side pockets for like my artificials, my baits and stuff. So works really well. Actually, I think this goes better in here. Yep. Oh ho ho! Check this out. This is a keeper. Look at that guy. That's a nice Southern California rockfish. He's going in the live well. So I've been reading a lot of reviews and such on the internet about how this Old Town Predator, or in this case the Big Water, how tippy it is and how people are worried that it'll flip, or how easy it is to flip this kayak. And I'll tell you right now, this kayak is super stable, even in rough waters like this. Sure, I'm high up, and I'll tell you right now, I'm more likely to fall out of this kayak before this thing ever flips, because it's got a keel. The way this drive was designed, it's got a really long metallic keel that protects the propeller, and it goes down about a foot beneath the kayak to keep it straight and stable. So yeah, this thing is not going to flip. Now, when I had my old Outback, because I was lower on the water, it too was very stable. The Outback is one of the most stable kayaks out there. And one time my hat flew off, the wind blew it off my head, and I was dumb enough to try to grab it. So I ended up putting my head over the side like this, and boom, I went for a swim. Now, the kayak didn't flip. I mean, my tools, my rods, my net, everything stayed in the yak. Well, everything except me. I ended up falling into the water, and yeah, I was easily able to get back in. So the same applies to this kayak. I'm more likely to fall out, excuse me, than having this kayak capsize or flip because of these large waves or swells. Yeah, you really won't have to worry about flipping this yak. And if ever you did flip it, it's really easy to bring it back upside, right side up. Again, because of the PDL drive, it sticks out so far down to the bottom. If it's upside down, you can just grab onto it and then just pull it back upright. I've seen that done many times on YouTube. So, but really, this kayak is super stable. Again, you are high up. It takes some getting used to, but yeah, you shouldn't worry about that. So here I've already loaded the kayak on top of that Malone wheel cart, and I'm pushing it back towards my truck. I didn't get it on tape. I mean, it's a lot of work just to get this thing on those wheels. Because of the size of this yak, it's really heavy, and the size of the wheels, which are really large, I have to lift it up pretty high just to get it on top of the cart. So that's the one major complaint I have about my setup is, yeah, it's really tough to get it right on those wheels, but once they're on, man, it's a breeze to push this cart long distances. And I have the sand wheels, so they're great on sand as well as asphalt. Here I'm starting to run because I'm going up a hill and I need to gather momentum to make it over the hump. But you can see I could run with this thing. As heavy as this yak is, with those Malone wheels, I can easily push it and run with it. You're going to see here, I'm talking to Quan. He's just ahead of me. He has the Topwater PDL 120 with the C-Tug wheels, which are much smaller and easier to use with these yaks. I'm thinking I might switch to that. They're a lot easier to work with, but I need to figure out a better system because these Malone wheels, man, it's really tough to get this yak on those wheels. Well, thanks you guys for watching. I know it was a little longer than usual, but I really wanted to give you a more thorough review of my new kayak. So if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again.